The Strait of Hormuz is now at the center of a high-stakes standoff after US and Israeli strikes on Iran. As tensions surge, Washington is scrambling to keep this vital oil route open, with global markets already under pressure and shipping risks rising. But Tehran insists the strait is not closed, only controlled. Iran is framing its move as targeted retaliation, not a blanket blockade. Abbas Araghchi says the waterway remains open for global trade, except for those it calls aggressors, signaling that access now depends on alignment in this conflict, as Tehran positions its actions as a calibrated response.
They are asking other countries to come and assist them so that the Strait of Hormuz remains open. Of course, from our perspective, it is open. It is only closed to our enemies, to those who carried out unjust aggression against our country, and to their allies.
In Washington, pressure is mounting on Donald Trump, who is now seeking international support to secure the strait. The push for a naval coalition signals a shift from offensive strikes to managing fallout, as even close allies appear cautious and the risk of a wider global energy shock continues to grow. Back home, criticism is intensifying. Hakeem Jeffries has slammed the administration, calling it a reckless war with no clear plan, while warning of Americans stranded in the region, and a conflict now pulling in multiple countries, exposing what he describes as a failure of preparation.
The administration failed to prepare for this reckless war of choice. They failed to prepare for Iran's actions in the Strait of Hormuz. They failed to prepare as it relates to the fact that thousands of Americans were stranded for days, if not weeks, in the Middle East with no plan by the State Department to evacuate American citizens in a very challenging region where there are now more than 12 countries that have been plunged into this conflict as a result of what began with Donald Trump's reckless decision to spend billions of dollars to drop bombs in the Middle East. There's no plan of action as it relates to the fact that all of these countries are now involved.
As the US looks for allies to reopen Hormuz, Iran is asserting control, keeping the route open, but on its own terms. Tehran says it will continue its resistance and wants guarantees this conflict will not repeat, turning the crisis into a battle over who ultimately controls one of the world's most critical trade routes.
We are engaged in a proud resistance, and we will continue this resistance without any hesitation. As we have said many times, and as I repeated again last night in an interview with the American CBS network, we have sent no messages. We have no request for a ceasefire. However, this war must come to an end in a way that it will not happen again.